a global body of all the akhadas has given this, authorized the Nithyananda University to conduct Kumbh Mela festival outside of India in multiple locations.
And right up to the Guinness World Record, not one but three Guinness World Records for the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's exemplary contributions to the field of yoga, and also for the largest human Om symbol. All this as late as last 3-4 years, and the city of Montclair recognizing the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's contribution to the superconscious evolution of humanity. One can see right from the day one, the contributions of Bhagwan have not only been recognized by the various political, religious, social heads, but also this, one can very evidently see why it would have provoked the anti-Hindu forces, because here the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as the last lamp of Hinduism, but the sure lamp of Hinduism, it is almost impossible for them to have stopped his juggernaut growth, so to speak. And hence, even though the contributions were recognized by people and people really benefited from all the social and spiritual and religious services offered by Kailasa, that was the very same reason why these services irked the anti-Hindu forces, who have been relentlessly wanting to exterminate the last lamp of Hinduism. We'll take a short break and resume as to how this extermination, lawfare, persecution, and the ongoing bio-war on Adi Kailasa is spreading its tentacles all over and doing all its possible efforts to destroy the planet.
There are some great spiritual sciences unique to Hinduism. Subtle, otherworldly, but definitive sign. Manifest the cosmic beings in Archavatara, deities in Nijavatara, living incarnations is possible. Understand? Priya Pada of Vedas and Agamas elaborately explain the whole science of making the cosmic beings manifest in Archavatara, deities, and Nijavatara, living incarnations, both. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, literally those cosmic beings manifest through this body. Just like how they manifest in Archavatara, deity, they manifest in Nijavatara, Pratyakshavatara, and give you all the boons you ask, bless you. You see, each God is an independent intelligence to lead you to enlightenment. Each God is a bridge for you to achieve the Shivatva, the ultimate Shiva consciousness. Krishna is the bridge for you to achieve the Krishna consciousness. But Shiva consciousness, Krishna consciousness, all consciousness is one and the same. Ultimate consciousness only. So that energy itself completely expresses.
Just like Radhika, when I see my own sweetness in the mirror, I become eager to taste it. I find that the only way to relish the sweetness is through the constitution of Sri Radhika.
Bhava Samadhi Darshan is a window to the infinite expanse of consciousness, allowing us to glimpse the formless in a way that we can understand. It cleanses the karmas of lifetimes. It awakens our biomemory to the space of Paramashiva, the ultimate consciousness, and creates a deep and lasting transformation in us.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. There are some great spiritual sciences unique to Hinduism. Subtle, otherworldly, but definitive sign. Manifest the cosmic beings in Archavatara, deities in Nijavatara, living incarnations is possible. Understand? Kriya Pada of Vedas and Agamas elaborately explain the whole science of making the cosmic beings manifest in Archavatara, deities and Nijavatara, living incarnations, both. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, literally those cosmic beings manifest through this body. Just like how they manifest in Archavatara, deity, they manifest in Nijavatara, Pratyakshavatara, and give you all the boons you ask, bless you. You see, each God is an independent intelligence to lead you to enlightenment. Each God is a bridge for you to achieve the Shivatva, the ultimate Shiva consciousness. Krishna is the bridge for you to achieve the Krishna consciousness. But Shiva consciousness, Krishna consciousness, all consciousness is one and the same. Ultimate consciousness only. So that energy itself completely expresses.
Just like Radhika, when I see my own sweetness in the mirror, I become eager to taste it. I find that the only way to relish this sweetness is through the constitution of Sri Radhika.
Bhava Samadhi Darshan is a window to the infinite expanse of consciousness, allowing us to glimpse the formless in a way that we can understand. It cleanses the karmas of lifetimes. It awakens our biomemory to the space of Paramashiva, the ultimate consciousness, and creates a deep and lasting transformation in us.
There are some great spiritual sciences unique to Hinduism. Subtle, otherworldly, but definitive sign. Manifest the cosmic beings in Archavatara, deities in Nijavatara, living incarnations is possible. Understand? Kriya Pada of Vedas and Agamas elaborately explain the whole science of making the cosmic beings manifest in Archavatara, deities and Nijavatara, living incarnations, both. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, literally those cosmic beings manifest through this body. Just like how they manifest in Archavatara, deity, they manifest in Nijavatara, Pratyakshavatara, and give you all the boons you ask, bless you. You see, each God is an independent intelligence to lead you to enlightenment. Each God is a bridge for you to achieve the Shivatva, the ultimate Shiva consciousness. Krishna is the bridge for you to achieve the Krishna consciousness. But Shiva consciousness, Krishna consciousness, all consciousness is one and the same. Ultimate consciousness only. So that energy itself completely expresses.
Just like Radhika, when I see my own sweetness in the mirror, I become eager to taste it. I find that the only way to relish the sweetness is through the constitution of Sri Radhika.
Bhava Samadhi Darshan is a window to the infinite expanse of consciousness, allowing us to glimpse the formless in a way that we can understand. It cleanses the karmas of lifetimes. It awakens our biomemory to the space of Paramashiva, the ultimate consciousness, and creates a deep and lasting transformation in us.
Welcome back. Yes, and now we'll be going into just a little flashback about a decade back into what really was done in the first massive attack on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa. It was a very, very well-planned, thought-through conspiracy that was unleashed on a literally unsuspecting Kailasa and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. As he very touchingly worded it, I never thought I had any enemies. One would think that's such an obvious truth staring in the face. Right from the time of his happening on this planet Earth, he has only lived for others. His hand has only stretched to give, never once to receive. He, as the embodiment of Tyaga, right from the time of his happening, way back in 1978, embodies nothing other than sacrifice, Tyaga, living for others, enriching, causing others reality. Why was he attacked then? And how was he attacked? 2010, 2nd March, Sun TV, the notorious television network, which is ruled by, run by, and controlled by atheistic terrorist militant forces owned by the party, the political party which professes atheism as the way of life, not only professes but also goes to ensure that any theistic philosophy, anything related to religion, especially Hinduism, is exterminated from its very roots. Even today, as we speak, we see the effects of this, the actions of this being perpetrated across the state of Tamil Nadu, which one can see if you just Google up what are the actions being taken by this particular party. It's all over the place in terms of exterminating Hinduism, be it in the field of education, stopping the schools and closing down temples, taking over, all in the face. This exactly was the same set of actions was perpetrated in a very, very sinister way way back in 2010, when a very so-called sensational video was fabricated around the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, trying to first do the character assassination of him so that it could pave the way for further direct assassination attempts supported by lawfare and ethnocide. Of course, the video was later proved to be false, and a judge even ordered the television station, the Sun TV, the Sun Network, to run an apology for it practically every 2 hours for a whole week, which, needless to say, was a contempt of court was made, and no such apology was published This is in spite of the fact that the then COO, Hansraj Saxena, confessed on public television and gave a sworn affidavit to a United States court detailing the entire history and modus operandi of the blackmail and extortion that was done in the name of this fabricated video. Basically, it was a multi-pronged attack. On the one hand, a character assassination of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. On the other hand, literally sucking the blood of the whole Kailasa, which was built on the sweat and blood of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, trying to destroy it, suck it through a massive extortion attempt running 200 crore Indian rupees. However, the state-owned and the controlled television channels within a few hours ensured that this television telecast was stopped, and the followers, the sannyasis and the monastic disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism captured this video recording of the telecast, and this is the only evidence that exists today of that apology.
You may actually wonder why this morphed video, but this is the signs that every anti-Hindu or a neo-Hindutva group practically followed to carry out an ethnocide. The United Nations have released a document which clearly says the signs of ethnocide. The first step is to single out the person. To single out the target or the victim is the first step carried out in, to perform an ethnocide. So that is exactly what they did in the case of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. He is known for his huge humanitarian effort that he carried out in till 2010. So millions and millions of people were benefited. He was known for his activism, the speed at which the Sanatana Hindu Dharma was reviving, especially in the state of Tamil Nadu, where the anti-Hindu forces have practically destroyed every single piece of it. So at this stage, for them to carry out an assassination attempt or an ethnocide, they need to have a justification. What is the reason that they can create to incite hatred amongst the people? So they have to justify their assassination attempt. They have to justify the persecution that is happening to this particular ethnicity. So for that reason, they created this huge morph video and they circulated it for 14,000 hours in every single media channel, every single print media, every single newspaper for 53 days or so. Continuously, this
one can see over here, it is a very, very sinister propaganda. It is a hate propaganda, mob lynching meant to be incited through it, which was started by this Sun network, and the politically owned New Hindutva media amplified the misinformation, the disinformation, and the massive hatred and apathy spreading to the entire country with hate speech, hate propaganda, titles like Hang the Sin Swamis. This resulted in, first of all, the marginalization of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and this whole community that was neither able to receive fair trials from the judiciary nor sympathy or empathy of the society. We'll just take a short break and be right back.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham.
Nithyananda, welcome back.
And on 26th of March 2010, the Karnataka State Police CID unlawfully sent letters to banks holding the accounts of the public charitable trust of the temple monastery complex of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Please understand, this is going back to the theory of how the science of how the ethnocide is carried out. They want to single out this divine holiness. They want to single out the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So they started off with propagating hate speech through this mock video, and now they want to single out him from his entire community. So they attacked the public charitable trust by sending unlawful letters holding the bank accounts of these public charitable trusts, and they illegally ordered them to freeze all the bank accounts. No debit transaction was allowed, making the main source of food and basic amenities for the residents of the Adinam a huge struggle. There was absolutely no food in the monastery.
One really needs to understand over here that it is a very, very designed, planned way of not only destroying the mission, the Kailasa, from an economical way, but also it is to make a statement. The anti-Hindu terrorist militant forces making a statement over here that the very survival of Kailasa, not only the life of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shall be under threat and shall be exterminated, but also the whole fabric of Kailasa, the economic fabric, social fabric, psychological fabric shall be attacked and destroyed.
The residents were pushed to crisis and they were forced to survive by drinking rainwater. Please understand that Kailasa's food bank, as we mentioned in the first segment of the presentation, has served 1 billion people with free organic sattvic food. But the very own residents of Kailasa were pushed to a crisis where they had to survive by drinking rainwater, which was collected underground, and living by sorting out the good grains out of the rotten ones. This was the sad state to which these anti-Hindu elements and neo-Hindutva groups pushed in such a way that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is completely singled out from his community, from millions of disciples and the Hindus. When this was appealed to the court, you'll be shocked to hear where the judge makes the mocking statement in the open court saying that if there is no food, eat air. This was a statement uttered by a judge in the open court for unlawfully freezing the bank accounts of the public charitable trust for no reason. Several residents and full-time volunteers, they had to fled the monastery complex due to starvation. Several social welfare and spiritual services of monastery had to be discontinued. This you can draw clear parallels with what happened in Bengal famine. The whole aim is to starve the people, beat them under the belt, and ensure that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is singled out so they can justify their assassination attempts.
One even knows way back then when the Bengal famine was masterminded by the colonial invading forces, it was not just to deprive the citizens of food, but it was to destroy the extremely strong spiritual fabric that held the hold of West Bengal. As Bhagavan revealed in a satsang, the whole reason why Swami Vivekananda had to come down and be so ferocious about reviving the sentiment of the people of Bengal back then was this very same thing, that it was not just an attack on the food and the availability of the same, it was meant to destroy from its very roots the trust that the people had on their culture, on spirituality, on devotion, on bhakti, on everything that Sanatana Hindu Dharma stands for. And this exactly was repeated in 2010. This time by the anti-Hindu terrorist forces which have entrenched India in all its bastions, in practically all the 4 pillars of democracy. And here is a stark example of the same.
The force that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gathered to carry out this mission was enormous. People from all different backgrounds were empowered and enriched, and to destroy their identity, the very belief for which they have happened, the very belief for which they are standing for, that was the aim for these neo-Hindutva groups and anti-Hindu militant groups, to ensure that the public charitable trust, which is supporting this entire mission, their bank accounts are frozen and people are left to starvation. And when the judge is telling that if you don't have food, eat air.
Which is absolutely illegal, because first of all, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was illegally framed in an absolutely base, practically ridiculous case, which had no victim, no complaint, nothing at all. And on top of that, a public charitable trust, as per the Indian law itself, has no owner. In spite of that, the anti-Hindu terrorist forces were successful in closing down the bank accounts of public charitable trusts, which are actually the property of the public, and to which trust the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had contributed every penny to, with not a single penny in his own bank account. There's zero bank account of Bhagwan. Everything that he earned with his own sweat and blood, every contribution of his being a personal contribution, but always going to the trust. He never even had a bank account, so to speak, not even one personal property in his name. Such is his tyaga. And in return, what he got was for his disciples, for his children, his monastic disciples, if there is no food, eat air.
Although the Indian law and customary international law and treaties unanimously declare a presumption of innocence of an accused until proven guilty. But this is the fundamental human right of anybody, so to speak. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's fundamental right, it should have been innocence until proven guilty, but it was always the other way. Though he was innocent, he was only treated as guilty And this whole false case was used as an attempt to eliminate him, to exterminate him, to marginalize him, and carry out their vested interest to eliminate an entire community and carry out ethnocide. On 11th of June 2010, while hearing of the bail of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the High Court of Karnataka described in its order saying that the undue media influence against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
As the order reads, however, it is not a matter for the court to discuss since the issue was subsidized by the media by telecasting the incident, which is a fabricated video, and a question mark is created amongst the public as regards to the image of a sannyasi or Swamiji. One can see over here the order highlighted. And let's go into the Oxford Dictionary meaning of the word subsidy. To give subsidy or to subsidize means to give or contribute a sum of money to support an industry or business to keep the price of its product or service low. What the High Court observed was that the attacks and allegations on the character of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, were funded by the media, not sustained by facts or any complainant, no witness, no evidence, nothing. The media had no obligation, though, to make any true claims. It was under no declaration of any oath before any court of the country, and it was very free to retract at any time any of its claims after they did their requisite damage. It had no locus standi in the court on legal grounds, but it had a very prominent influence in negatively prejudicing not just the minds of the people at large, but the judiciary itself, as one can see from the observations of the judiciary. We have a full-blown report on the entire media hate propaganda, its effects, and practically the trial by the media, the disinformation against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. A whole report has been compiled, which is running into a massive 25,000 plus pages.
On 3rd of March 2010, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, he makes a public statement inciting hatred towards the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the Adi Shaivite minority community. This was published in several newspapers and cited by several media channels. So you can see the attack is full-blown, whether it is in terms of media, which is going to media or the judiciary or the executive slate legislature in every single wings that is going to carry out the democracy of any nation. All the wings together did a multifaceted attack on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
The Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu here, stereotyping, vilifying, denigrating Hindu monks, especially Swamis, going on to say in public, labeling them as cheats in Tamil, imposters, brainwashers, destroyers of the life of people, swindlers of money, despicable Swamis. These are some of the so-called better translations of the cheap Tamil words used to describe Swamis, hoodwinkers who are disguising in the name of devotion, pushing the illiterate into a deep pit.
The Chief Minister declared the stand of his government on Hindu monks. My government cannot tolerate the despicable Swamis' hoodwinking acts. Please understand, here is a Chief Minister who is making a complete anti-Hindu statement. Gurus and the Swamis, they are the pillars of Hinduism. They are the ones who are bringing the whole science of enlightenment to the people and the masses. Their whole aim of this anti-Hindu, neo-Hindutva groups is to destroy the very roots of Hinduism by eliminating this Guru's disciple tradition. If they are successful in eliminating this Guru-disciple tradition, then Hinduism can never be in the face of the planet Earth. So that is their sinister motive. When Swamiji happened as an avatar, when the whole humanity is recognizing him as the avatar for them to revive the Hinduism, the sinister plan by these anti-Hindu elements is to destroy the very base, very core of the Hindu tradition, which is destroying the Guru-disciple tradition itself. So that is why he is making a remark saying that he cannot tolerate the despicable Swami's hoodwinking. Can a chief minister make such a comment about other religions, whether it is Islam or a Christian priest or a priest? No way. They can never think or attempt to make such a remark. But they have got the audacity to make such comments on the Hindu monks. What are we Hindus doing about it? Where are we heading when they have audacity to destroy the guru-disciple tradition, which is the core of any Hindu, core of the Sanatana Hindu Dharma? What are we Hindus going to do about it? This has happened from 2010 actually.
This history actually dates back. If one can see, just expand the time capsule and see the invading Mughal forces way back in the 1300s, all the way up to the 1700s. At that time, gross physical destruction of temples. As one knows, Somnath temple destroyed 17 times, and the volumes of temples that have been destroyed, not just Somnath, but the whole attack was a very gross physical one. Then comes the 1800s onwards, the colonial forces invading India, Bharat, where they destroy the second massive pillar of Hinduism, which is the universities and the education system. The Gurukuls eliminated. One can see even in the time of when Vivekananda, Swami Vivekananda, 1901, when he left the body, we were reduced to just 2,000 Gurukuls, when we had more than 2 lakh, just about 20 years before that. So the entire target was to destroy the cultural fabric, the educational fabric, the very core of the Hindu society. And then the core of Hinduism, which is the guru-disciple tradition, which keeps the whole, which breathes the life into the whole Sanatana Hindu Dharma, that is being attacked today as we speak. Let's not forget, it is individual. It is an attack on the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, the guru for the only being who has the capacity to enrich and cause people to practice Hinduism from the people from all religions, all walks of life. As we see if we just read or watch the pictures of the people serving Kailasa, the people who are in Kailasa serving the whole world, we have people from all walks of life. Just if you saw a few slides back, the medical team that we have is a huge statement to itself. People from all countries, from all the genders, of course, males, females, and we have people from all traditions. This is the power of the last lamp of Hinduism, which the anti-Hindu forces are so hell-bent on destroying. And as we want to repeat over here that it is the story that is being created, the narrative that is being created is not just for exterminating the individual, the community, the following. It is to eliminate Hinduism itself, because as one evidently knows, once the guru-disciple tradition is destroyed, nothing else remains, because the entire Veda Agamas, which are the notes left behind by our rishis, by our enlightened masters, become useless, because there is no guru to infuse life into what they are meant to reveal to the people at large.
Actually, so to speak, the strategy of defaming a guru with some kind of a sexual assault or something without any basis, that you don't need a complainant, you don't need a victim, you can simply defame anybody with any charge. And like this, they have been continuously doing for many of the authentic Hindu gurus who wants to do something, who wants to contribute to the Sanatana Hindu Dharma. By this continuous attack on Hindu gurus, they are just destroying the Guru Sishya Sampradaya itself, which is the backbone of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. This has been the strategy that has been deployed by these anti-Hindu elements for last few decades.
Here you can see the chief minister describing the practicing Hindus who followed Swamis, like the followers of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, as people who are deeply buried in ignorance, who cannot still understand, or even if understood, do not want to change. Those fickle-minded people who have fallen prey to these Swamis and destroying the society.
So people, all the Hindus have become anti-social elements because they follow a guru. This is a statement made by the chief minister back in 2010. And what is the feeling that they are giving to Hindus now? If you are following a guru, how can you become an anti-social element? So this kind of hate speech is being spread widely in the society just to destroy the guru-disciple tradition.
The chief minister explained his stand on the practicing Hindus who followed gurus like the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. This government won't be a mute spectator of those fickle-minded people who have fallen prey to the Swamis and are destroying the society.
So this is directly, the chief minister is attacking the people whoever followed Swamiji, that they will be punished. So in different ways, in different ways, the whole aim of these anti-Hindu elements is to single out the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. They want to eliminate him, they want to exterminate him. So they ensure that every single person, any person who showed some sympathy, who showed some kind of reverence, every single person will be targeted, and they were threatening openly all of this in the media statements.
One can see here the chief minister exhorting the citizens, those who really want these preachers to be eradicated should stand by and support the actions my government is taking. One can see here, this is a statement made in the state of India, the largest democracy, a supposedly secular nation. Secularism, as Bhagavan said, does not mean no religion. It means all religions are allowed to coexist. But only over here one can see that other than Hinduism, every other religion is supported, in fact protected, in the name of either minorities or otherwise. But the so-called majority religion of this country, Hinduism, is targeted outright, and there is no force of any of the four pillars of democracy coming out in support, but all of them in fact ganging up to destroy Hinduism right from its very core in front of our very eyes.
On 12th of April 2010, the parent organization of Karunanidhi, the ex-CM, he hosted a press meeting where the leader of anti-Hindu atheist terrorist, K. Veeramani, said, central and state government should take clear criminal action against them. The crores of properties they have earned through crooked means should be taken over by the government. You can see it is just hard work of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and his community, which has only contributed to the whole of the world through various humanitarian efforts. How can this be freezed? How can openly the government is talking about looting the crores of property that is being given by the Hindus to support Hinduism? It is not the matter of seizing a property. It is a matter of seizing the sentiments of Hindus. It is a matter of seizing the mission mission and the humanitarian efforts that is being carried out in support of Hindus. Openly, these leaders coming out and telling Hindus as anti-society elements, anti-social elements, and they will be taken and threatened to action if they follow Swamiji or follow any guru. And now they are talking about all the wealth that has been showered by Hindus to support Hinduism, that crores of property should be seized.
And one is seeing over here, one should note that the Constitution of India, which is enshrined in the principles of democracy, the right to practice one's religion is a fundamental right granted not only by the international rights, but also by the Constitution of India itself. How come such blatant statements are made by ruling forces, ruling parties, and no action is taken against them?
The fabricated video of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism became a political justification for the state government to implement and execute anti-Hindu laws and executive orders that destroyed all the Hindu temples in Tamil Nadu over the next decade. Earlier on 5th March 2010, Veeramani had given an interview where he said, in the context of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and other Hindu gurus, if you probe them, they will ultimately end their life in jail. Almost national criminals. How can you defame Hindu gurus who are supporting Sanatana Hindu Dharma, who are reviving or holding the Sanatana Hindu Dharma together? How can you make such statements telling that they are national criminals? And here is openly making a statement that he will end their life in jail. So this is the custodial deaths that he is talking about. Openly, all these statements were made in public, where the leaders who are supposed to hold together the sovereignty of the nation, who are supposed to hold the secularism and the democracy of the nation, they are coming out and talking that Hindu gurus should be put to death in the jail itself. They'll end their life in the jail itself. They are national criminals. People who follow them are anti-social elements. These are the statements that was widely spread in all the media channels, in all the media dailies, making people literally to shiver practice Hinduism. Please understand, it is not a question of these people making statements. They literally made everybody shiver to practice Hinduism. They literally destroyed the Hindu identity from the core.
In fact, as one would see, effects of this are seen by the Hindus in India and worldwide even today. People literally shivering at supporting Hindus, forget Hindu gurus, even supporting Hinduism and its practices, wanting to protect the temples, having all their dreams inside, but there is no voice, so to speak, for them. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself has been the target of over 70 assassination attempts directly and over 100 assassination attempts indirectly, including custodial torture, custodial assassination attempts. Exactly what this man, this anti-Hindu element, said, Veeramani, and the anti-Hindu terrorist militant forces and their leaders said, the same way the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was attempted to be assassinated in custody. Even today, as we speak, it's been more than a decade of the false, baseless, fabricated case against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism when he was framed in that. And even today, as we speak, the trial in the case has not even started because there is nothing in the case, but the case being kept alive by these anti-Hindu forces, because that is the only way they can keep the possibility open to arrest yet again the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, have him in illegal police custody and attempt to assassinate him in custody and dismiss it off as an encounter.
Following the statement of the Chief Minister, the very next day, on 4th March 2010, the State Police of Tamil Nadu filed a fabricated accusations on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, charging him under the section IPC 376 rape, without mentioning anybody as a victim of rape. Please understand, there is not a single person who came and told that they are the victim of rape. Without a victim, a rape case was filed against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. It is completely instigated by these political elements who are anti-Hindu social elements. They have openly come and threatened that anybody who follows Hinduism, they'll be termed as anti-social elements. They'll be threatened, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism will be made to go through custodial death in the jail. So all of this really instigated, and then the very next day, see, after you create enough substance or enough hatred amongst the public, you literally make shiver anybody who can think for Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. This whole scenario was created. Please understand that the sequence. On 2nd of March, the video gets released. On 3rd of March, this whole sentiment is being created in the society. On 4th of March, they put this false rape case, where there is no single victim who claims that they are getting, that person got raped. Without the mention of a victim of rape, they filed IPC section 376 on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
And then right from the 2nd March night, this fabricated video is spread virally across the internet, across television channels, in the print media. It starts coming from the very next day. And from the 3rd of March 2010 itself, the even open assassination attempts, like trying to burn alive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in his very own quarters, in the spiritual headquarters of Kailasa, here in Adi Kailasa. All this is done blatantly, telecasted brazenly, shamelessly on national television, on various local television channels. All this made possible because of the utter shock element delivered to Hindus at large by destroying the character, the image, attempting to assassinate the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and literally overnight, 50 temples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in the southern state of Tamil Nadu just shut down. Not just shut down, threatened, stones thrown, attempts made to destroy them by actually putting them alight. The monks over there held by their very neck and pulled in the road. The female monks openly sexually assaulted, raped by not bystanders or so-called criminals, but by the state elements themselves.
Even Mughals, they destroyed one temple after another. But these anti-Hindu elements and the Neo-Hindutva group, they destroyed 50 temples at one go on a single day, 50 enlightenment ecosystems that were built by the sheer hard work of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. They were all destroyed at one go just by spreading mass hate speech and singling him out. This whole anti-Hindu elements and Neo-Hindutva groups executed this whole ethnocide.
And ironically, today, those are the very enlightenment spiritual ecosystems of Kailasa, which Bhagavan has opened up to the public at large, where the state is shivering under the global pandemic of COVID-19, trying to distort the figures of deaths itself, when the actual deaths are running into millions, proclaiming that it is only a few thousands who are dying and that the whole pandemic is under control, etc. When the people are able to see through the literal cheating done by the government, here, Kailasa is opening its doors of those very enlightenment ecosystems which, after being attempted to be destroyed again and again by the anti-Hindu terrorist militant forces, by the sheer hard work and tyaga of Bhagavan, have been revived today. And not just revived, they are opening the doors to the very same people who either joined in trying to destroy Kailasa or just stood as bystanders.
The ASMT Hindu deities were desecrated and burnt. Billboards and banners of ASMT Hindu deities, which were hung inside or nearby ASMT temples, were also set on fire throughout Tamil Nadu. Like we mentioned earlier, even Mughals, they could not execute this amount of persecution on a single day. But now, the so-called anti-Hindu elements and the Neo-Hindutva groups, they're taking every single section of the democracy in their hand, whether it is state legislature or executive powers or the media power. They have everything on their hand, and they have executed this act, criminal act, brutal act of destroying 50 plus Hindu ecosystems.
As we just mentioned, on 3rd March 2010, 100 militants of these anti-Hindu terrorist elements entered the very home of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, locked him up inside his very own hut and set it on fire with him inside and his male monastic disciples, as sannyasis, inside. The state police just watching and the media just flashing brazenly this open assassination attempt. The channels further went on, continued this hate propaganda for the years to come, running, as we said, 25,000 pages of print media and terabytes of video maligning the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa, just making the way for a massive extermination of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Huge violations done not only legally but also of human rights itself. As we continue into the next segment of what's happening today at the Kailasa, we take a short break and come right back. what is happening today with the Adi Kailasa ship. Let's take a look at it.
Today, the Adi Kailasa Sarvanyapeetham plays one of the COVID care protection centers, which is carrying out a huge humanitarian effort to protect people from COVID pandemic, especially when the government has failed, societies have failed in providing a basic infrastructure, medical infrastructure to the people. We are here to offer every single facility. We are here to carry out this huge humanitarian effort to protect the people from COVID. When all the first world countries have closing their borders, it is Swamiji, it is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who has opened the Kailasas, his Kailasas, which are persecuted for more than a decade, which he has rebuilt time and again. He has once again opened his Kailasas for the benefit of the people. But once again, the Kailasas are being attacked by these anti-Hindu elements and the neo-Hindutva groups. What are these seeds of terror, a bioweapon that's been launched on the Kailasas, especially the Adi Kailasa Sarvanyapeetham, that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived? So this is a recent international phenomenon where anonymous seed packages are being sent to various people all around the world, especially in USA, UK, and 3 other countries. On 31st of July 2020, the Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service of US Department of Agriculture in a statement said that the main concern is that these seeds can introduce damaging pests or the diseases that could harm the US agriculture. India is also on the target list. The senior Indian government official says China has advanced scientific capabilities to do such an attack on the Indian soil too. The conspiracy was revealed in detail in one of the reports. The Adi Kailasa, the temple monastery complex, and enlightenment ecosystem is a Manu boat or a ship to save the humanity. It was created by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism with utmost care and compassion to save the humanity from the ongoing COVID. It is the home to the rare and powerful energy healing center in the form of Anandalinga, a 21 feet Shivalinga erected around a herbal pond. This Anandalinga is made of 1008 Ayurvedic herbs. The herbs used in the Anandalinga are specially known for its properties of healing various diseases and supporting faster recovery from certain diseases. Now, it was established 12 years prior to 2021. During this 12 years, the Anandalinga has undergone a herbal alchemy process, maturing fully in 2021 July during the Hindu festival of Guru Purnima. Though the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was forcibly driven out, exiled, and deprived of his basic citizenship as the captain of this ship and his home, Bharat, years before in 2018 itself, he left the ship, Adi Kailasa Sarvanyapeetham enlightenment ecosystem, the last hope for India to survive the COVID-19 crisis. The anti-Hindu forces have now made the ship as one of the primary targets of this bio-warfare. The ship that is going to protect Hindus, protect the humanity from the effects of COVID, that ship is one of the primary targets of this bio-war. Anti-Hindu forces targeted Adi Kailash because of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's relentless work, relentless hard work that he put through Adi Kailash, which is protecting the humanity in India. Precisely what these demonic forces who want to depopulate the planet and capture the resources exclusively for themselves who do not want it. Now, the anti-Hindu militant forces have deployed the new war.
Sorry, just wanted to add to what Ma Pranapriya was also sharing. Actually, this, what exactly you're sharing, Ma? Like exactly to depopulate, like we can see very clearly how actually this whole thing, this whole news about this unsolicited seeds and giving it to so many.
We request you to unmute, Tattva Priya.
Yes, sorry for the technical glitch. And yes, hope our audio is better now. And we were just sharing, Ma Pranapriya was and Ma Nithyananda Swami, both of them were sharing a very, very, very important factor. For years, the conscious ship, the Adi Kailash, the ship in Adi Kailash that Swamiji, the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, built, despite of all the persecution and attack, creating a safe and an extremely conducive ambience, a pure ecosystem for people to live a peaceful, healthy and blissful life. And knowing what the future is going to be of Hinduism, had already prepared one of the best incubator, one of the best place to protect ourselves during the time of the deluge or pralaya. Even though the supreme pontiff of Hinduism was driven out, literally attacked, and as we all saw, the strategic sinister plan of the anti-Hindu elements, the supreme pontiff of Hinduism still continued to extend so many services and offerings to humanity, making himself available to be there for humanity at the time of crisis and to share these ultimate truths and sciences.
Actually, just see, even though like right now Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is offering this to the world, like this unsolicited seeds coming in and starting the bio war by giving these unsolicited, like just like how Pranapriya had explained, it is already given in so many different countries, and this is like a plan to depopulate in mass.
Actually, all the viewers should know this fact, like Ma Pranapriya was sharing, even after the attack was directly done on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and even after Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had to leave his own campus, still the attack did not stop. Knowing that Adi Kailash Sarvagnya Peetham, the Adi Kailash, the campus in India, was one of the main places, the only place where humanity can receive protection because of the way it was built and energized by the Supreme Pontiff himself. Knowing that even though the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was attacked and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had to move out of the Adi Kailash campus, even after that, still Adi Kailash Sarvagnya Peetham is the primary target of the anti-Hindu elements whose vested interests are just to depopulate, just to destroy the whole ecosystem. The anti-Hindu elements continue to target Adi Kailash Sarvagnya Peetham, hell-bent on destroying the ecosystem that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism built, foreseeing what humanity is going to go through, foreseeing what lies in the future, and the humanity that lives there. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism built the Adi Kailash Sarvagnya Peetham. Now, what is a bio war? What is the war that was launched in Adi Kailash Sarvagnya Peetham? Who did this? When did this happen? How did this happen? I'm sure all the viewers that are watching us now must be aware of at least 10 months ago, in many countries, top first world countries like the US, United Kingdom, and places like New Zealand, and so many other places, there were many reports of one random package landing at their doorstep. That package would be labeled as toys, as jewels, and some random label accessories. And that was what surprised many people was they would have never ordered for such a package. There will be a package named so at their doorstep. And when they opened this package, it would have unsolicited seeds inside them. Unnamed, unlabeled, not knowing what they were. These are primarily targeted on the mainly on the farmers and the normal citizens. We all can see here one news articles where 28 states issue warnings about residents receiving unsolicited seed packaging from China. This is from, we are quoting NBC News, and you all can see the news articles. There were so many countries, so many places that started receiving these unsolicited seeds.
Actually, we request the NTV operator to kindly project the video also that we are showing. We're actually showing this from the news channel. Yes, you all can see these seeds like this, like how this woman is showing it to us. Like this, there have been at least 11 countries that have received this. But just to let all of you know, this news was 10 months ago. It was in the last year. In 2020, people had these seeds there that they have gotten. It was a big news all over the news. People are saying, no, don't touch those seeds. They might be dangerous. They're like, even the officials would say, please come and hand it over to the FDA. You don't need to touch them. Do not throw them away because they are extremely dangerous. They might be a potential carrier of a dangerous pathogen. Now, when that was the announcement, when that is what is being told everywhere, after 10 months, in Adi Kailasa Sarvagnya Peetham, the only place which is the conscious ship built to save humanity, how come a government stamped post with these unsolicited seeds in them comes along with a bill saying seeds with quotes coming to us?
And here, what is more ironic here is when many first world countries clearly took a strong step of warning its citizens not to accept any unsolicited seed package because it might contain potential pathogens in them, and there are many people who saw their whole land becoming infertile, etc. There are so many happenings. Actually, all our YouTube viewers, as you are watching this, if you had received unsolicited seed package at your doorstep, you can also let us know, so all the viewers can see it was a big issue that happened just 10 months ago.
Actually, you all can notice the date here is July 28th, 2020. That is around that time when this news had come out. It's actually not 10 months ago. It's last year. It's already June 2021. It was last year this whole news had happened. And the whole media fell silent about it. It's like nowhere. Okay, this was like a viral news everywhere. UK, the Prime Minister announced saying, no, you have to stop it. And Canada, US, India, Japan, New Zealand. So these were the major countries in which we were having these unsolicited seeds that had come in. Everywhere this news was told. How come after 10 months, we are having, after 10 months, actually after a year, how come these unsolicited seeds are coming in now?
And most importantly, just so all the viewers know, the Adi Kailasa Sarvagnya Peetham received an unsolicited package of seeds, which was sent here by the government of one of the departments of government of India to Adi Kailash. The bill reading from the India Speed Post, which is one of the departments of the government.
Actually, we are not, I just want to make our stance clear. We are not against any government. We are not against any country. We are not against anyone. But just want to share with all of you, just to show you this is how atrocious, how inhumane now we are. Actually, I'm seeing a lot of you are commenting regarding this. Yes, you are all right. Like I'm seeing Ma Kshipra Prasad Nikananda, Ma Martha Watson, Ma Paramesha, Subhaya, a lot of people are commenting. Thank you so much for all of your participation. Really appreciating your participation in this. And actually, just want to read out Durai Satya, Nithyananda, to all the people. Thank you so much for your commenting and participation. I would just like to read out Ma Martha Watson saying, I remember when USA got seats like that in mail. Exactly, Ma. If you remember also Ma Martha Watson, if you could just go back and even Google, even we had yesterday, a lot of people, viewers were sharing with us, saying how these seats put this sanitization, and we'll put it and we will come and pick it up. They actually used to use the gloves. Government officials used to use the gloves and come and pick it up.
Shipra Prasad Nikananda is also commenting. She says, this is very serious matter. Should be investigated thoroughly. It is very sinister and the criminal should be put behind bars. Ma, please understand, we also had the Adi Kailash Sarvagyapeetham administrators, Manitya Achalananda Swami and Manitya Pranapriyananda, who were sharing how these conspiracies, sinister conspiracies, time and again have been continuously happening, primarily because the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is standing as the voice for not just Hindus. Please understand, Swamiji stands as the voice for whole humanity to live, to lead a peaceful, coexisting and a blissful life. Every service of Kailasa that is extended to the humanity is unbiased. It goes to everybody, independent of their caste, creed, gender, religion, etc. Even this, the whole COVID care, the preventive and protective support, even that was extended to the whole of humanity, race, gender, caste, creed, etc. And you all need to note this. Just few days after the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism opened the doors of Adi Kailasa to protect the humanity, allowing public, everybody to come in. Just a few days after that, Adi Kailash Sarvagyapeetham was targeted. This whole seat package was delivered. Actually, we have the Adi Kailash administrators, Manitya Achalananda Swami and Manitya Pranapriyananda, who are live in Adi Kailash and who have seen this whole happening. Yes, Manitya Achalananda and Manitya Pranapriyananda, would you want to add how you received the package?
One can see here, for all the contributions that Bhagavan did, what he is faced with now, 11 years after that first massive attack on 2nd March 2010. This incident that took place just about a few weeks ago. Mysterious package of seeds was sent to Adi Kailash, and this was very evidently after the announcement of all the services being opened by Kailasa in the form of the Adi Kailasa ship, in the form of various social and religious and spiritual services being offered by Kailasa at the Adi Kailasa Sarvagyapeetham spiritual enlightenment ecosystem. We received a letter from the Department of Customs, India. The letter is dated May 2021 about asking us to give the details about a seeds package that we had so-called ordered. Unaware of the sinister conspiracy that was behind it, the Adinam authorities, the administration, we wrote to the Customs Department that such package, because we had not ordered anything. It is ironic to have to order seeds when here we are at the Adi Kailasa Sarvagyapeetham doing organic farming for very many years. So needless to say, there was no need to order any seeds from outside. One can see here the date, as we said, the date of arrival of that package on 2nd March 2021, 11 years after the first massive attack by the anti-Hindu terrorist militant forces. And it says over here, item received. Here it does not say the details of what it is. And the letter from the customs saying that it's a so-called seeds package. We received the letter bearing reference number CM number 506/2021, referring to a parcel containing seeds, and the tracking number is mentioned. This is the simple reply given by the administrators. But we did have a doubt that this was not a normal accidental happening. And so we did mention that not only we are not in a position to provide any details about this package because we did not order it, it also we mentioned this appears in fact to be a ploy to put us into some problem or the other. One can see here the letter by that customs department mentioning, even they mention in quotes, seeds imported through the post. So one can see over here, it seems to be an innocuous seeds package, but the subsequent news surrounding the various attempts by various vested interests to so-called spread these seeds of terrorism, which are meant to practically literally spread their tentacles across the farms of the places where they are targeted. In one way, it is to destroy the ecosystem physically. But in the case of Adi Kailasa being the very ship to save humanity from the COVID-19 pandemic, it was not just a simple attempt to destroy the physical ecosystem. It is an attempt to destroy the enlightenment spiritual ecosystem, the doors of which have been opened by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism now to everyone, to the public at large, so as to save themselves from the global pandemic and the deaths that have been happening today in the millions.
So you can see the whole ulterior motive behind these forces is to depopulate and carry out the genocide. Hunger and food insecurity, whatever they have been attempting on the community of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism back in 2010, widespread illness. So we are the community of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. We are the ones who are actually protecting the people from COVID. So for such a community, which is actually working towards the health consciousness, this bio war is attempted to cause the illness, depopulation, and food and hunger insecurity issues. We've gone through this. The main motive behind such deadly genocidal attempts on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and his community is to create a large-scale disruption to the humanitarian services that is spearheaded by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism through Kailasa to combat COVID-19 by launching the biowar. Unknown diseases which no medical or agricultural authority can handle are being inflicted into this community. So the whole aim of this anti-Hindu elements and neo-Hindutva groups is to ensure that the mass humanitarian services that is being spearheaded by Swamiji in the form of the COVID protection centers has to be disrupted. So that is their ultimate motive, and that is what they are doing through launching this biowar on the Adi Kailas Sarvanya Peetham. Oh, Hindus, you must understand that this biowar is not on a community. This biowar is on all the Hindus. All the Hindus, whoever wants to be protected from COVID, these COVID care protection centers are established, and so many hundreds and thousands of people are visiting these COVID care protection centers to seek refuge and protect their health, protect their life from COVID. Now, this humanitarian effort is being disrupted by these anti-Hindu elements and neo-Hindutva groups, and it is time for us, we Hindus, need to raise up to the occasion to show our solidarity. We need to show we stand together, and we will fight these anti-Hindu elements by being more and more aggressive in our humanitarian efforts. We need to enrich more and more people who can get benefited through these humanitarian efforts. Because for Hindus, we do not know the concept of conflict. We only contribute. That is what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has taught us. That is what he's been living. So at this time, all we need to do is show our solidarity, reach out, enrich more and more people for them to get protected through these COVID care protection centers.
Actually, Ma, Pranapriya, Swami, I just have one question to ask both of you. Now, when Swamiji is doing such, so much of an effort where something that is unimaginable for any human being, it's something unperceivable. Like, for example, opening all the doors of his homes in India for the people to come and live. Like, where not even a free food in best organic food is given, a free accommodation is given, free medical service, including allopathy, homeopathy, naturopathy, Ayurveda, Siddha, all these are given. And at that time, when a bio war is launched like this, how does it feel for you as an administrator, being his representative there and doing this on the ground? How do you feel about it?
I think first of all, it is really sad that in the face of something that is staring into the face of humanity as death itself, literally as Devi Parashakti said, dying like rats, human lives being lost, it just hurts to the very core how somebody can be so insensitive, inhuman, demonic. We've read about this in the Puranas, in our Vedic scriptures as to how demonic, how Rakshasic tendencies can get. But to see in literally happening in front of our eyes in our lives is something that makes us feel so pained at the level to which human beings have fallen down. Literally the Yogo Nashta Parantapa which has happened and which has made the happening of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism such a critical emergency. Had he not happened when he happened in 1978, now we can understand what Bhagwan meant when he said, even if I had come one day later would have been too late for Hinduism. And before this, his various representatives, the representatives of Paramashiva who have been sent down, this time he had to come himself. Paramashiva and Parashakti together happening in the Nijavatara of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam. Literally, what he meant, we can see in front of our eyes so tangibly and perceptibly, the level to which the planet Earth is at stake. I think that's the first thing that we felt when we saw this happening, glaring in front of our eyes.
Well, actually, talking about this, we have so many YouTubers also who are commenting, YouTube viewers also who are commenting that they have also received such a package, and many of them are also commenting that they're shocked at who is behind this. What do you think? Like, so far you are explaining about the anti-Hindu elements and how the whole attack has been happening. But right now, considering, like you were sharing, that we are facing directly, we are staring at death's face in front of us. At this point of time, like enacting and making this whole sinister conspiracy happen, who do you think is behind this? And what do you think is the motive to attack the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism exactly when he's opened the doors of Adi Kailasa to protect the humanity?
Actually, do you think it's an attack on Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, or is it an attack on humanity itself?
Actually, I feel it is an attack on the humanity itself, because it is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism who's spearheading this movement of humanitarian services to protect life, to save life. That is the whole aim and motive for opening up all his Kailasas, to save humanity from this pandemic. When all the doors of these so-called first world countries are closing down, Swamiji has opened his doors, the only motive being pro-life, to save life. And these anti-Hindu elements or neo-Hindutva groups, whoever is behind this motive of launching a bio war on this Adhika AK ship, which is pro-life, which is life positivity, which is protecting and saving lives from a pandemic, they are anti-humans, so to speak. It is a conspiracy that is launched against the humanity itself.
Exactly, ma'am. And actually, just had one more thing to ask. How was the situation there? Like just outside of Adi Kailash, Adi Kailash, we do see a lot of updates continuously happening in the HDH Nithyananda Paramashivam Facebook page, where we see a lot of these activities, like how the infrastructure is getting ready and how whether the in infrastructure wise or the organic farming that's happening or the medical services that are getting available, made available every single day. But how was it just outside the island? How's the situation there in India?
It's really pathetic because we hear tons of stories of people who knock the doors at the middle of the night, early in the morning. They just say, okay, I got to know from this, know about this opportunity from YouTube, and I've come here. So please let me in. So that's the state when people knock at the doors. And when we ask, how is the situation in your hometown? They come up with tragic stories, which we cannot even comprehend. When your loved and dear ones, especially in your families, they are struggling to gasp breath. They could not find hospitals that can accommodate them. They could not find a soul who can talk to them properly, who can heal them, understand them. They're only just asking, I already have 30 people in queue. What can I do? You just stand over there. They're not even letting the patients to come into the hospital. The only response they're giving is there are already 30 people who are going to die. You just stand in the queue and then you also die. So that is the response that they are getting from the medical infrastructure. So it is really sad to see how human beings have come down, the society has failed, and it is Swamiji, through his humanitarian efforts, he has opened all these Kailasas. Here, every single thing is being taken care. Every day we have doctors who ensure that their well-being is taken care. They ask if they are going through any symptoms. If they have any symptoms, immediately the Ayurvedic drinks and supplements, everything is given. So they are feeling so protected. First thing that they say is, as soon as I come to Adi Kailash and breathe this very air, I feel so protected. That is the constant one-liner we hear from every single person who are here.
Sorry, so you were mentioning something about supplements. So what kind of, so every day you're telling every single day to all the people that are coming here, like thousands of people from different parts of India who are pouring in, and they want to just survive. And with that, literally just to survive, they are coming into Adi Kailash. So all of them we are providing Ayurvedic supplements, is it?
Yes. So we are giving herbal drinks that can boost their immunity. And we also give supplements that can boost their immunity and the vitamin levels. So this is to protect themselves from COVID. So anybody who is coming to Adi Kailash, they are tested COVID negative. So the whole environment is completely protected. You can talk to people, you can engage with the community because you are so sure that every single person is healthy here.
And their immunity system is maintained and boosted because, as the current news reveals, it has now become airborne even. So here we have the multi-layer quarantine for the same reason and the multi-layer protection. As we all disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism know, this sacred space of Adi Kailasa, the energy field where Bhagavan's presence is living presence in the form of Achalamurti, Sachalamurti, Kalpataru, Kalpavriksha, everything. And we doing our part in the human realm by providing the immunity supplements, boosters, in the form of both, in the form of all fields of medicine actually, allopathy, naturopathy, siddha, allopathy, every which way all the options are given. And literally the herbs grown here in the sacred space of Adi Kailasa, where Bhagwan's feet have touched every inch of the Adinam. So the whole thing vibrating with that intense energy and life. So needless to say, people experiencing the benefits of this in all levels.
So actually, all the viewers that are watching us right now, if you are from India or any other South Asian countries, you can get this service now completely free of cost. This is a call for all, a clarion call for all the people that just have the intention, I want to live. Understand, we don't want your money, we don't want your service, we don't want anything. Because all the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is focusing on is just to have you alive. Like Swamiji says, life is too precious to lose. So if you want to join here right now, just go to tinyurl.com/Kailasa care. Go and sign up now. Where if you are just interested, I want to continue my life, where I just want to stay alive. Is there a way I can protect myself? Yes, it is there. You can join us. You can sign up right now in tinyurl.com/Kailasa care.
And to all the viewers that we have that are listening to us now, the link is being scrolled just here below in the YouTube screen. You all can see here the link is being continuously put as a scroll for all of you. So please do on your see on your screen. We have the link projected here, tinyurl.com/Kailasa care. Please understand what you are listening to so far, where the administrators were sharing that how the whole preventive and protective care, the multi-layer quarantine is happening. Please listen very carefully to each and every one of you. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, out of his extreme compassion, just to make sure there is one place, at least one place where there is no vested interest other than saving your life. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, just with this one single motive, just to protect you, has opened the doors of Kailasa, and who we have are the Adi Kailash administrators who are coming live and sharing with us about this. And to everybody who are watching us now, right now, and to everybody who just joined, we are sharing to you an attack that is happening on you. Please understand,
this is not up now. This is not any attack against Hindus. It is an attack on humanity. It is an attack on you.
Everybody that are watching this, please understand, this is not something that you feel, oh, this is happening somewhere to someone. No. This attack is directly on you, on humanity. Today, if you want to live or you want to see your near and dear ones live, there has to be at least one place where it is unbiased, it is out just with the pure motive of keeping you alive. And at this point in time, to everybody that are watching and that have the single intention that I want to stay alive, this is the time for all of you. And just a small correction to all the viewers that are watching. If any of you want to keep yourself, if you want to take the step that I want to be alive in this time where everywhere it is just death that awaits you, if you have an intention to take the complete protective and preventive measures to stay alive, and you want a place that is conducive to attend to all your needs and still give you a protective preventive ambience, then the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has opened up the Kailasas. If you want to come and experience a multi-layer quarantine, which completely enables a protective and a preventive and a healthy ambience for you to live, you all can go to kailasa.org/Kailasa care. Please visit the link kailasa.org/Kailasa care. So that is the link, and you all can go to this, and this link is also being projected for all of you on the scroll. Please go to kailasa.org/Kailasa with a single A, Kailasa, Kailasa care. And please do visit this link to register yourself so that you can experience, you can avail this only protective ambience for you during this whole time of the pandemic.
Actually, this is only specific to Indians and the people who are in South Asian countries, specifically because actually the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had actually warned, telling you, if you are staying in any other country outside, you do not need to come into India right now, because right now the situation there isn't right for anyone to come in, because the way we are having, the way we are the virus is spreading, the way the whole pandemic, like how Devi had said, the whole Kirimi Bojanam, that hell has come down literally. So just wanted to tell all of you, all those who are watching us right now, and people like Martha and many others who are literally wanting to fight for this. You can do that. Go to Twitter right now. Use the hashtags, hashtag Nithyananda, hashtag COVID-19, hashtag unsolicited seeds. And please post what you are burning with inside you as a tweet there on Twitter. Ma Kshipra Prasadanikananda, all of you, Martha Watson, each person who feels it, no way, how dare they do something like this? How dare they do something like this to sabotage humanity? Go ahead and tweet it now, because what you are voicing matters, so that this service, at least now, let's wake up. We are sleeping, we are telling continuously as if it's an attack on Hinduism, we have to protect. No, kindly wake up at least now. This is an attack on you. This is an attack on humanity at large. It is time now that you wake up. It is time now that you start going and voicing out, at least for yourself. It is actually, if you remember, Manikanta, like I think in last year, I remember this some time ago, Machala Swami was mentioning how this COVID-19 is now established as an airborne disease. I remember in August 2020, Swamiji had actually told in a satsang that please even close your windows if possible. Do not expose yourself even to the air, because even the air carries the virus. He said, he actually warned, telling, they may say now that it is not airborne, but I am warning all my disciples and devotees and all the people who love and sympathize and empathize with me, to not go and infect yourself. Even through air, it is possible to get infected. Swamiji had told actually much before this pandemic, even when it started as an epidemic, even before that, Swamiji had warned us, telling, do not travel anywhere right now. People were wondering, why Swamiji suddenly telling not to travel, not to travel? And many people was like, okay, because Swamiji told I will not travel. In a few days' time, it opened up as an epidemic, and very swiftly it is declared as a pandemic by the WHO. And today it's literally, it has already taken a toll over the world, and now hitting it continuously, where the modus operandi of humanity itself is shifting in a very, very high speed. So how do all of you feel about this? Kindly go to Twitter right now and tweet how you are feeling about this. I request the NTV operator to kindly project the hashtags to be used on Twitter. Hashtag Nithyananda, hashtag COVID-19, hashtag unsolicited seeds. Because this bio war that is happening on us, actually all can use a hashtag bio war, because this is a bio war that is happening on us. This bio war has to be stopped. Otherwise, humanity will be effaced from the face of earth. It's not a joke. The Asuras are literally, the demonic Rakshasas are playing and destroying the world. It's in each of your hands. Each of you can make a change now. Please go ahead and register your tweet on Twitter right now. We're seeing a lot of you who are watching. Actually, really appreciate you all participating and interacting with us, because you can interact with us using either on Twitter by using these hashtags, and you can also interact with us here on the YouTube chat. Yes, I'm seeing a lot of people commenting. Okay, Martha Watson says, is there a center open in California, USA? So right now, this multi-layered quarantine is only available of India. In all the centers in India, Swamiji is right now focusing there, since the degree is terrible. So we can't right now even imagine what level it's happening over there. The visuals, if you just Google the COVID death in India, you'll see very graphic, disturbing visuals, and it's really sad that humanity is suffering that. But unfortunately, this is the current state, because when Swamiji had told that about even the Padayatra, Swamiji mentioned that only if he was allowed to do what he was doing, today this wouldn't have been the current state of India. But unfortunately, this is what the demons, the Rakshasas have done. But at least now let us wake up. At least now save your lives. This is not for any other. Just take a few minutes and you can go to Twitter, use these hashtags, and you can communicate with us. So I'm seeing a lot of comments. Subramanian Tyagaraja has posted in the YouTube. There are big groups who are against humanity. Yes, many groups want a reduction in population, and Hindus are the easiest people to target because they
just one thing I want to tell here, it is not just Hindus, it is whole of humanity. It is humanity that is targeted continuously.
Exactly. Because just to let you know, so Subramanian Tyagarajan just to let you know, because this is not just against Hindus, because this is not something that is put in one temple or something like that. It is here what Adi Kailash, which is right now open irrespective of your religion. You can be here. In the Kailasa is open for all the people. Right now, just stay alive. If you remember, so that was the message from Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, even on such an auspicious day like Nithyananda Paramashivam. So we request everyone go ahead and tweet on Twitter, and you put your whatever you are feeling on Twitter. I'm seeing a lot of people have started posting on Twitter, requesting everyone to go and put how you are feeling about it. Actually, I'm just seeing. Actually, there is even a news, there are news channels that are talking about this topic of this COVID-19, how it's affecting and how this war is waged upon us, bio war. Now, we have some more interesting things to share with all of you. We're going to give you a short break during which you can go and quickly post on the Twitter, registering all your feelings, how you are feeling, what you're burning with this. Go ahead, use this hashtag, and you please post it on Twitter, and we will be back after a short break. We are going to be continuing on reading out your tweets so that more and more people can be enriched and know what's actually happening. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
There are some great spiritual sciences unique to Hinduism. Subtle, otherworldly, but definitive sign. The cosmic beings in Archavatara, deities in Nijavatara, living incarnation is fasting. Understand? Kriya Pada of Vedas and Agamas elaborately explains of making the cosmic beings manifest in Archavatara, deities and Nijavatara, living incarnations, both. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, literally those cosmic beings manifest through this body. Just like how they manifest in Archavatara, deity, they manifest in Nijavatara, Pratyakshavatara, and give you all the boons you ask, bless you. You see, each God is an independent intelligence to lead you to enlightenment. Each god is a bridge for you to achieve the Shivatva, the ultimate Shiva consciousness. Krishna is the bridge for you to achieve the Krishna consciousness. But Shiva consciousness, Krishna consciousness, all consciousness is one and the same. Ultimate consciousness only. So that energy itself completely expresses.
Just like Radhika, when I see my own sweetness in the mirror, I become eager to taste it. I find that the only way to relish this sweetness is through the constitution of Sri Radhika.
Bhava Samadhi Darshan is a window to the infinite expanse of consciousness, allowing us to glimpse the formless in a way that we can understand. It cleanses the karmas of lifetimes. It awakens our biomemory to the space of Paramashiva, the ultimate consciousness, and creates a deep and lasting transformation in us.
There are some great spiritual sciences unique to Hinduism. Subtle, otherworldly, but definitive sign. Manifesting the cosmic beings in Archavatara, deities in Nijavatara, living incarnations is possible. Understand? Kriya Pada of Vedas and Agamas elaborately explain the whole science of making the cosmic beings manifest in Archavatara, deities and Nijavatara, living incarnations, both. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, literally those cosmic beings manifest through this body. Just like how they manifest in Archavatara, deity, they manifest in Nijavatara, Pratyakshavatara, and give you all the boons you ask, bless you. You see, each god is an independent intelligence to lead you to enlightenment. Each god is a bridge for you to achieve the Shivatva, the ultimate Shiva consciousness. Krishna is the bridge for you to achieve the Krishna consciousness. But Shiva consciousness, Krishna consciousness, all consciousness is one and the same. Ultimate consciousness only. So that energy itself completely expresses.
Just like Radhika, when I see my own sweetness in the mirror, I become eager to taste it. I find that the only way to relish this sweetness is through the constitution of Sri Radhika.
Bhava Samadhi Darshan is a window to the infinite expanse of consciousness, allowing us to glimpse the formless in a way that we can understand. It cleanses the karmas of lifetimes. It awakens our biomemory to the space of Paramashiva, the ultimate consciousness, and creates a deep and lasting transformation in us.
There are some great spiritual sciences unique to Hinduism. Subtle, otherworldly, but definitive sign. Manifesting the cosmic beings in Archavatara, deities in Nijavatara, living incarnations is possible. Understand? Kriya Pada of Vedas and Agamas elaborately explain the whole science of making the cosmic beings manifest in Archavatara, deities and Nijavatara, living incarnations, both. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, literally those cosmic beings manifest through this body. Just like how they manifest in Archavatara, deity, they manifest in Nijavatara, Pratyakshavatara, and give you all the boons you ask, bless you. You see, each god is an independent intelligence to lead you to enlightenment. Each God is a bridge for you to achieve the Shivatva, the ultimate Shiva consciousness. Krishna is the bridge for you to achieve the Krishna consciousness. But Shiva consciousness, Krishna consciousness, all consciousness is one and the same. Ultimate consciousness only. So that energy itself completely expresses.
Just like Radhika, when I see my own sweetness in the mirror, I become eager to taste it. I find that the only way to relish the sweetness is through the constitution of Sri Radhika.
Bhava Samadhi Darshan is a window to the infinite expanse of consciousness, allowing us to glimpse the formless in a way that we can understand. It cleanses the karmas of lifetimes. It awakens our biomemory to the space of Paramashiva, the ultimate consciousness, and creates a deep and lasting transformation in us.
There are some great spiritual sciences unique to Hinduism.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham.
Welcome back, dear viewers. Thank you so much for all of your participation continuously being available here, participating here. And we have something very important to share with all of you. All those who are tuning in now, I'm seeing more and more people are joining here. Just to let all of you know what exactly that we are discussing about. It is the bio war on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the bio war launched on humanity itself. As you all may be aware, we have all the Kailasas in India that have been opened with multi-layered quarantine, where it's completely providing free food, free education, free medical care, free support, accommodation, support psychologically, physically, and also giving highly safe medical supplements, Ayurvedic supplements available, like the medicines are
And
available
even the normal allopathic medicines
Exactly.
and the highest quality of the basic care that is needed in every level, naturopathy, allopathy, Ayurveda, homeopathy, all of these are made available to the people. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has opened the doors of Kailasa just out of the only context, just to protect the humanity, just to save humanity, save human beings at this time of the pandemic.
And actually, when this is happening, just so that humanity is alive, when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is putting in so much of effort, there are demons, these demonic, militant forces that want to wipe out humanity from the face of earth, that is continuously working like in a very, very cunning way to wipe out, to depopulate humanity, to completely depopulate humanity, and so that they can have all the natural resources, everything for themselves. So depopulation of humanity is what is going on right now, and it is high time that we wake up, high time that we say that we stand together and protect ourselves.
And
Actually,
most
I just want to read
important
out some
one
more.
fact that you were sharing was this whole thing is not on a particular group. It's not just an attack on Hinduism. It is in no meaning to put it down. But the fact is, this is not the time to argue whether it was just an attack on Hinduism or no. It is not about that. This is an attack on you, me. It is an attack on humanity. It is for all of us people that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism took this step, risking everything just to give a safe and a protective ambience for people at this time of the pandemic. And it is irrespective of religion, gender, caste, creed, nationality, or anything else. And please understand, what we really need to know is, by attacking the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, by ensuring that there is some destruction happening to the Adi Kailasa Sarvagnipitam campus, your life is being put at risk. This is with a high, there's so much of vested interest behind each and every act of these anti-Hindu elements.
Actually, just to, what amazes me the most, these unsolicited seeds are not anything recent. It is the last news is somewhere 10 months before. I was just shocked how when Swamiji is opening the doors now, these unsolicited seeds are getting sent to Adi Kailash. Wow. So this means there's a huge network behind this. It's not something simple as you think. This involves many conspirators, traitors that are even sitting. They might even be sitting inside the government. Who knows? Because the post that we received had the government stamp on it. So just think and see what level these Brahma Rakshasas have penetrated. They have infiltrated. It's not a good signal. It's not a good sign. It's time that we wake up. And we really request all of you that are here. Thank you so much, Raja Rajaya. You are continuously putting the Mahavakya Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. We do understand the prayers that you have, that you are posting continuously this Mahavakya. Don't worry, Ayya, Swamiji is there continuously protecting all of us. It's just that it's time right now that we stand together. We protect humanity. We protect what humanity has received. At least now, let us be intelligent. Let us protect ourselves. Let us save ourselves from this phase of this pandemic. Really telling each of you, do not worry. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, our beloved Swamiji, our cosmic father, is there with each and every one of us.
And even now, if you have just this one intention, I want to live, it is not late. The doors of Kailasa is open for you, welcoming you and inviting you to come to save your life. There is nothing you need to do. There is no time, talent, treasure, nothing that you need to contribute. Just come, stay alive, stay safe. With just that intention. If you want to protect your life, go to kailasa.org/Kailasa Care, and you will be able to register yourself for coming in and experiencing the safe quarantine. Go to kailasa.org/Kailasa Care.
Request everyone, you can take a few minutes, go to this link and register yourself. We highly recommend only the people who are in India already and the people who are in any of the South Asian countries to come, and all the others, we request that you actually don't enter into India right now, because this is the warning that Swamiji has given to all his devotees and disciples, because it's not going to be safe for you until this is not going to be a safe ambience for you until this entire pandemic is actually settling down. Now, thank you so much for all of you coming and participating with us. So we are going to be continuing with the next power manifestation segment, and we will let you know the next live Akashic reading when it is going to be there. Today, we are not going to be having the live Akashic reading that will be happening. Instead, we are going to be continuing with the power manifestation session, where we are going to learn how to manifest these powers, and we are going to be continuing with that segment next. Each of you, I really request, go ahead and post each of these things that you're sharing in the comments as a tweet, because those tweets are what is going to really speak volumes and actually impact the world. So go ahead and tweet. Now, with this, let us conclude this segment with the Purna Mantra and get ready to enter into the power manifestation session.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you all, Nithyanandam. Stay tuned and we will be entering into the power manifestation segment very shortly.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham.
Of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattamasyadilakshya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is power manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagwan himself explaining what is power manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you, due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you, out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerful.